Sign up to The Economist for in-depth curated expert analysis of world events and topics ranging from business and culture to science and technology. You'll get the weekly digital edition, online-only articles, curated newsletters on politics, the markets, science, culture and China, and full access to The Economist Podcast Plus. The Economist is independent journalism for independent thinking. Go to economist.com and get your first month free.
Today on CityCast Madison. It's Thursday, so of course, we're dishing on all things food. And this week, we're traveling to Norway without even leaving Dane County. The Syttende Mai Festival, which celebrates Norwegian heritage, is happening this weekend in Stoughton. An annual citywide tradition for over 70 years, we recommend you come hungry to sample all the Nordic culinary delights, and you cannot miss the parade on Sunday. We caught up with Callie LaPoint of the Stoughton Chamber of Commerce to get an inside look at what to expect from this year's festival. And spoiler alert, there's no lutefisk. It's Thursday, May 16th. I'm Hayley Sperling, and here's what Madison's talking about. Callie, we're here to talk about the Syttende Mai Festival in Stoughton, Wisconsin. But first and foremost, can you tell me what exactly is Syttende Mai and why Wisconsinites are even celebrating a Norwegian holiday?
Of course. So Syttende Mai translates to 17 of May, and it is the Norwegian Constitution Day, similar to what us Americans celebrate as the 4th of July or Independence Day. And why we're so fun and celebratory here in Stoughton is we have a very, very high Norwegian immigration population. So it's really neat to talk to local residents, and they can say that their grandparents or their great-grandparents are direct descendants of Norway, and just the stories that they bring from the Norwegian cultures into Stoughton, Wisconsin is just amazing. So we have been celebrating this festival over 70 years. It officially became a chamber event in 1967.
Yeah, that's awesome. So clearly this festival has decades worth of impact and cultural contributions. So can you just talk a little bit more about what that means for the Stoughton and, Wisconsin community?
Yep. So we do have a king and queen. They are not official royals, but they are our local honorary royals. These couples are nominated in the summer, and there is a selection committee that goes over their accolades, their commitment to the Stoughton community, their service to the Stoughton community. They do need to be a legal resident for at least 10 years within our school district. They are often very in tune to the Stoughton community by ways of volunteerism, sponsorships, just being present with what Stoughton has to offer. And those kings and queens are announced in February. So they have this huge secret that they need to keep from everybody for 6 months, including over the Christmas holiday. Kids can't know, families can't know. It is coined the best kept secret of Stoughton, which is really, really fun to kind of see how that develops at the event that we are announcing the King and Queen, which is called the Norse Afternoon of Fun. And it's a Norwegian high school, Stoughton High School Norwegian dancer performance, kind of the kickoff to get out of the winter blues in early February. This year's King and Queen, it's Joe and Aaron Conant. They own a local automotive shop, Conant Automotive. They have a young family, 4 kiddos still in school, 1 kiddo out of school. Just a great couple, great family. Really proud to have them represent the Syttende Mai Festival in the Stoughton community.
Awesome. Pivoting a little bit to the food side of things.
Absolutely.
When I think of Norway, I think of fish and meat and potatoes and fresh herbs. What kinds of food can people expect to find at the festival?
You can definitely find local treats. There's not lutefisk. So lutefisk is a dried fish and then it's rehydrated. Not my palate. I would explain that as fish jello. So you will not find that at the festival, but you will find lots of lefse, which is the little flatbread potato, rosettes and krumkake and romgrot. Those are all the sweet ends. The Stoughton High School Norwegian Dancer parent stand has varma pølse, so it's a hot dog wrapped in lefse. That's like my go-to meal because it's super portable. I can just get my quick snack on the go. Lots of meatball options around. Our Sons of Norway Lodge has treats and dinner every Friday and Saturday, or the Friday and Saturday of the festival. Other food that we offer, it's not traditional Norwegian food. The really neat thing about the Syttende Mai Festival is it's so local and locally supported. It is the largest fundraiser for our nonprofits. So the food stands are either our nonprofit groups or they are supporting a nonprofit. So our Lions Club has a food stand serving up burgers and brats and chicken sandwiches, cheese curds. The Rotary stand is corn on the cob. The Stoughton FFA alumni, they really kick off season because this is your first chance, your first festival, you get to get cream puffs. They also have some delicious cheese curds. We have kettle corn, and we have some, our local pizza shop supports the base or the soccer team. We have Ben's Pretzels that is supporting the hockey team. So a little bit of everything between your good Norwegian treats and meatballs and then some just good festival snacks and food.
Yeah, no, truly sounds like there's something for everyone. Sounds like there's a few like vegetarian friendly options in there.
Yeah.
And things that are friendly for kids as well.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned the varmepølse. And so I took a trip to Norway back in 2019. And my friends and I did a little day trip out to a mountain. And it all culminated in us making these varmepølse out at the top of this mountain, having this little picnic. And it was just so beautiful to me. And I just remember thinking, I was like, this is so much better than a regular hot dog. It's so much easier to carry around. And I don't know about you, but like, I feel like I'm always throwing away like extra bun pieces. Like, I don't need this. And the Lefse, it's just so good.
It is so good. Yes. And a lot of our stands will, the Norwegian dancers and the Sons of Norway, they pre-make the lefse. So it is fresh and homemade. You can find lefse throughout our community basically all year long, which is made at another Wisconsin site by what you like to call the Lefse grandmas. But the stuff that you'll find at Sons of Norway and the dancer stand is homemade, and it's just delicious.
I love that. That's so cool. That's so cool that everything is like truly, genuinely homemade, because what other festivals can really say that? I don't know of any.
Right?
You mentioned like the cream puffs and lefse, but what are some of the food items that you think deserve a little bit more love? What are our unsung Norwegian heroes when it comes to food at the festival?
Our local bakery offers krumkake and rosettes. Again, over Syttende Mai Festival, there's peanut squares, which are really popular to some people. The romagrat, it's a nice warm custard. That's found at Sons of Norway. And we'd probably lend more on the treats side of good Norwegian versus the meals.
Okay, so I want to know what is on your food bucket list. Like, what are you running to get at the festival this year?
If I haven't said it enough, it's probably the varmepølse.
It's gotta be. I mean, I'm just dreaming about it right now. You mentioned it and I was like, oh gosh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I might get a cream puff for my Sunday breakfast, but it's the varmepølse and probably some meatballs. Otherwise, I kind of get on autopilot, so I don't eat a whole lot. But there's always something. And I'm giggling because I'm looking at this video of myself and I have a stack of King Oscar product. King Oscar is one of our top sponsors, and they come in from San Diego, California every year to show support of this festival, and they have samples. So if anyone's coming down, stop and say hi to King Oscar. They will be sampling out some of their salmon product this year. I think they also have some of their favorite sardines and mackerel as well.
Ooh, very fancy. We love a sample. Also, we love salmon and fish in general, right?
Absolutely.
Why not? What's not to love?
Yep.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
So, kind of aside from the food scene of the festival, what else can people expect to find? You mentioned Viking Games, and I know there's parades and dancers. What are we excited for? What's happening?
Yeah, there's a lot of athletic events around. Friday night, we have a canoe race and a portage. It's a 3.5 mile canoe. And they portage around a local bridge. So that's always the fun part. People get their camping chairs out there to watch the families have to get out of their boat, carry it around, get back in. So that's a Friday night event. On Saturday, we have our Syttende Mai Classic, which includes a 20-mile run, a 10-mile run, 17-mile walk, and then we have a 2-mile little run, kind of all intertwined. And so the really fun thing with both the canoe race and the classic is our awards are rose mauled, which is a style of painting. So the canoe race gets rose mauled paddles, canoe paddles as the first place winner. And then the first place runners either get a nice rose mauled plate or a trunk. So really kind of integrating some of our Norwegian culture throughout the different events. And then you said we have the Viking Games on Saturday. That's a strongman competition, strongman and strongwoman. It is a sanctioned event, so it's not that you can just show up and expect to do what they're doing by pulling trucks and farmers' holds and atlas stones. It's a marvel to see really how these folks train and compete in this game. And so that's really growing in popularity. It's the 10th year this year, and we tape the location up with our entertainment tent and beer tent so people can come in and have a casual beer and watch some people be monsters on the ground.
That sounds like it.
And most of the events are all family friendly. I would say actually all the events are family friendly. We don't have anything that's too late or too rowdy. So kids just have a lot of fun seeing their parents or their friends competing, doing the run themselves. And yeah, we cap off the whole festival on Sunday with the parade. It's the first parade of the season. We're over 80 floats this year.
Wow.
Which is right around average. We're between 75 to 85 each year, which is just amazing. We get community or neighboring communities, fire departments that join. We have a couple high school bands that are in it. Miss Wisconsin makes appearances.
Oh, wow.
We have our royalty and the accolades of past royalty. So all the past kings and queens get on a float and they're in their traditional costume called the bunad, waving to the crowd. So it's a lot of fun and people get their spots early on Sunday morning. You will drive down Main Street, which is Highway 51, and there will be blankets and chairs waiting for them for the 1:30 parade.
Wow. And so there's no rules, like you can set up as early as you want to claim your prime spot for the parade?
About 6 o'clock is kind of the unwritten rule. Yeah. So not overnight. Yeah.
That's fair. I think that's reasonable. You mentioned that a lot of the royalty, they come dressed in their sort of like traditional garb and whatnot. Are people expected to sort of dress up for this event or come as you please and costumes are encouraged and appreciated?
Yep, it is a come as you please. You don't have to wear a bunad. Bunads can be very expensive. The authentic bunads are made in Norway in a specific region, and they're most often wool and layers. So it's an honor to be able to wear a family bunad. Most of them are handed down, or they have strong stories behind them. But definitely come as you please. There's probably more jeans and tops out there than our bunads, but it is really neat to see the display of bunads and the support in the community. Just a quick backstory of bunad in Norway. It is worn for special events. So it is worn either at weddings or, possibly Christmases. But since Syttende Mai is the Constitution Day, that is a special event for them. So it's customary to wear the bunad if you have it over Syttende Mai.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I remember hearkening back again to my Norway trip. We took a little road trip down to Oslo for Syttende Mai because we just happened to be there for the occasion. And there were just crowds and crowds of people like in these bunads. And it was just, I felt underdressed. My friend that I was there with, she's like, people are going to be dressed traditionally, but like if you want to dress fancy, like that will kind of help, enhance the occasion and you'll fit in a little bit more. But it seems like people take it very seriously, and it is just kind of a very beautiful thing. And to see the intricate work on all of the costumes and whatnot, like it's so cool. And it's just such a neat experience.
It is, yep. And we have a bunad show on 2:30 on Saturday, and this year's it's the 50th anniversary. So if you're in the Stoughton community, please check out the bunad show. You will hear the stories of what makes each one different and the intricacies, like you mentioned, with the seaming, the artwork on it. And like they're all different. So they all mean something different.
Yeah, that's amazing to me, how clothing and food and just all of these, quote unquote, mundane items, but they just have such a deep meaning, or they can have such a deep meaning and tell so much of the history of a people. But with that, I'm curious about if there's anything new about this year's festival that we should get excited for.
We have some new elements, and we just have some new locations, I should say. So the two favorite events that people come for are the Rose Malling Show, put on by the Wisconsin State Rose Malling Association. They will be in a temporary location this year at the United Methodist Church, which is not downtown. Just working on some, construction logistics between that, as well as the art fair, which will be Saturday. And that's actually across the street from the Methodist Church at the high school. Also at the high school will be the indoor performances of the Stoughton High School Norwegian dancers. So we do have a couple non-downtown locations, but very accessible, as we have shuttle buses outside the high school that can bring people downtown. Downtown parking is a premium. So we're really hoping that people will take use of these shuttle buses to see everything about the festival. The Stoughton Center for the Arts is putting together a new little youth play, a youth show at First Lutheran Church. It's the Pied Piper.
Oh, wow.
So trying to bring some more youthful activities back into the festival. That'll be a really great one to see. They have 2 shows on Saturday. Everything can be found on the website, stoughtonfestivals.com. There's a printable schedule, and then we'll have programs available throughout the weekend for people to look at.
It truly seems like this is really just an effort of the entire community, really touches every aspect of Stoughton and beyond, which is so beautiful to me.
Yeah, it really is. We put together just kind of a quick glance of, the volunteers needed to make it happen. And if just on our sheets of volunteer signups, if everyone had one volunteer spot, we need over 400 people to make this happen. So that is a great showcase of what the Stoughton community is, really pulling together to support the ongoing tradition of the Syttende Mai Festival and Stoughton's history.
That's amazing. That's incredible. Well, is there anything else that we should know about the festival in general?
It goes rain or shine. So come out and enjoy. We're always looking at weather. We're looking at the long-term weather, short-term weather, but there's a lot of indoor events. So a lot of ways, to escape the heat, the sun, the drizzle, lots of things to do. So rain or shine, come have fun down in Stoughton, Wisconsin.
I love it. Rain or shine, family fun, something for everyone, and a big old twist in Norway. We love to see that.
Yeah.
Well, Callie, thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm so excited to get our Norwegian heritage on at the Syttende Mai Festival.
Great. We're looking at kicking off festival season here in Stoughton.
That was Callie LaPoint of the Stoughton Chamber of Commerce. Check out our show notes if you want a full schedule event for this year's Syttende Mai Festival. And that's it for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm Hayley Sperling. If you enjoyed the show, why not share the episode with someone who makes a mean Lefse? We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until next time.